Hi everyone, Jackie here from Jackie's Craft Table, and I'm back again today for Pixie Dust Designs. Today I'm going to be creating some projects using this fabulous die set called Rough Day Tags. So let me pull this out of the bag, and I'm going to start with the tag first. This is really cute because it has stitching around the edges of it. And this set includes 4 different options for the end of your tag. Let me pull these out. These have the stitching on them as well. And I'm going to create a tag for my first project. I'm using some light pink cardstock, and I'm going to run this through my little desktop die cutting machine. So I'm going to die cut the tag first. And then I've selected the scalloped edge die for the end of this tag, but let me get this excess paper out of the way. I'll just snip this off. And then I'm going to tape this one in place so it doesn't shift when I run it through my die cutting machine. I'm just going to line this up to the end of the tag. And I'll tape it in place and again run it through my die cutting machine. I'm going to add one more piece of tape just to keep it nice and secure. I mentioned in my previous video that I just love that these dies are purple. Not only are they just fun to look at, but they're easy to spot on your desk. And there's a lot of small dies with this set. Okay, so here is the finished tag. Now we get to decorate it. And of course I have to use this cute dog. So I already die cut most of my pieces. The dog die cut is embossed, so you know exactly where to put each and every piece. Here are the little ears and the nose piece. I'll put that on. I'm not gluing these down yet. I'm just deciding what colors I want to use. Here are the little paws. And then the eyes will go next. The shape of these eyes are so cute, and it leaves a little dot in the middle so that you can add the whites to his eyes. There's a separate piece that you can cut out with white cardstock and glue it to the back of the eyes. Or you could cut the eyes out with white cardstock and just use the dot like I'm doing here, just insetting those. And here is my little dog ready to go. I'm putting this tag together just like they have it on the packaging. So I'll add a little bit of glue under the dog's chin and glue him at the top of the tag. And then for the little paws, I'll add a dot of glue where they're supposed to go. And I'll kind of tuck it under his ear. Push this up just a little bit. It has to look like he's hanging over the side of the tag. I'll do the same for his other paw. I do come in with some white gel pen to add highlights to his face. First, let's attach the tag piece. And again, I'm just going to use a little dab of glue at the top of his head and glue this in place. And now to decorate the tag, I'm going to use a little piece of pattern paper. This is from the coordinating pattern paper, and the pad is called Puppy Love. And of course, I'll have all of the links to these products listed in the description box. I'm also going to add another die cut, and this one comes from the set that's called A Dog Life. It's a cute paw print. I'll put some brown paper behind it. And then I'll add more liquid glue to attach this to the bottom of the tag. I already die cut and glued down the sentiment that says Friends Forever. That is also from A Dog Life die set. I added some black enamel dots and some black and white baker's twine. And here's a close-up look at the finished tag. That dog die cut has the cutest little face. For project number 2, I went ahead and glued together my dog. This time I added some ink just to add a little more shading and dimension to the dog. So this project is going to be a card. I want the little dog to be hanging over a brick wall. So I pulled out my stencil that will create the wall, and I'm adding some dark reddish brown ink over it. This ink is called Paprika from Simon Says Stamp, and I stenciled it onto a piece of Barely Peach cardstock. And now for the sky behind the dog, I had to pull out my cloud stencil. This stencil gets a lot of use in my craft room. I'm using some light blue ink. It's called Sea Foam from Simon Says Stamp. I like to start at the top of my paper and just work my way down, shifting the stencil as I go along. It's hard to see. I'm using really pale blue ink for this. It's just a pretty effect behind the dog. I'm going to go all the way down the panel. With these two panels, I can create two cards. But I'm just going to put one together on camera. I'll gently peel off my panel from the sticky mat. And then I'm going to cut these apart off camera and start attaching them to another piece of Barely Peach cardstock. So here is the top of the card with the clouds. And then for the brick wall, I wanted to pop it up with some foam strips. I cut it down so it's a little bit smaller than my A2 sized panel. And now for the cute dog, I popped him up with some foam pieces as well. I'm going to turn this into a birthday card. So I wanted to add a balloon. I put a foam square behind this as well. And then I'm going to attach the string so that it looks like the dog is holding onto the balloon. I'll add a little bit of liquid glue and wipe it off so it doesn't smear my project or ooze out. I'll tuck it behind the dog's ear and then just attach it under the paw. Okay, that is all ready to go. I'm going to pop this in my Mini Misty to stamp out my birthday sentiment. I'm using an older stamp set from my stash. I want to stamp it out kind of at the bottom right. Pick it up with the door of the Misty. And then I'm going to ink it up with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I do stamp it out several times, but I'm only going to show one stamping. And this just says, sending birthday wishes. I'll attach this panel to my card base using some more liquid glue. Off camera, I added highlights to the balloon as well as the dog using a white gel pen and a deep red Copic marker for the balloon. Last, I'm going to add a few red enamel dots around this card. And then for the inside of the card, I did add some extra surprises. Let me give you a close-up look at the finished card. This would make a fabulous birthday card for a child, but even an adult would love this, I think. And let me give you a look at the inside. I stamped out the sentiment that says, "Have a possum day." I also stamped out a few paw prints, and these come from a Pixi Dust Designs stamp set called Woof. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed these projects, and I hope that you were inspired. The links, as I said, will be listed in the description box below. Have a wonderful day, my crafty friends. Bye.